Okay, hi everyone. This is our recap from the first workshop of June 7th, 2025 with Maureen and Eric. Our shape, style, and swagger. So we started with shaping our push brakes. So over rotation or an opening on our push brake. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So here you can see on 4, Eric's kind of setting me diagonally, which is signaling to open up, and he kind of opens me up through with his hand as well. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And one little tip that I have, if we're going to lead this as a leader, is I tend to tip the follower's hand over. That helps create the rotation through the shoulder that opens up the chest so that we can get our over rotation. 2,
4, 5, and 6.
And right at the end, you'll notice that our feet are not facing each other. We're not in our normal traditional anchor step. We're actually facing out on our last step. And when we go into our next move, we tend to square up.
Right.
And then continue with it.
Ready to back. Gather and then. And the other one was in reverse. We're under rotating or closing it up. So here 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're facing the other diagonal here. And 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6.
A couple of tips if we're going to lead this as a shared moment leaders. I'm taking her again upstage, I'm taking the follower upstage. That closes the shoulder a little bit. And from here, I'm continuing to lead a little bit upstage so that I can get that foot to drop into the space in between. So we have 1, 2, 3, and a little upstage, taking it again upstage, 5, and 6. So we both felt also that this can be something that we can do as we did in class as a shared moment, a led moment, but we can also do this independently. So Maureen can do this all by herself if she wants either one.
I want to just set myself here. Or
And I could also do this independently.
without disrupting the connection.
So both of us can either do it independently or we can do it with each other as a lead follow moment.
Right. Okay, next one was shaping or styling in our right side pass. So we're adding some style and swagger. So here's what we did. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. We did it in 10.
And when we did it, I think we did it in 10, we took off right on the beginning. So we took off on the 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8,
9, 10. So on your right side pass, you could either take off on the 1, which is how we did it, or you could take off on the 3. It doesn't really matter.
So similarly, this can be the lead initiating it and trying to get me to do it as well, or I can do the same thing.
And it really feels good like right after a sugar push. So if you do a sugar push to start 3 and 4, 5, and 6, a couple of the clues we gave is that leaders would actually look down at the follower's legs, indicating that there is a change. We might expand out a little bit more to indicate the hesitation or pause right before we go. Leaders lifting it up really clearly so that the follower wants to follow that move. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and walk it out 9, 10. Of course,
this can be extended to 12 counts if you want.
Right.
How much? Yeah.
Right. So I'll take a sugar push from here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm looking down. I'm indicating I'm expanding. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and walk it out 9, 10.
So obviously, maybe I don't catch the first one, but then as I understand, then I can join him in that.
And this gives a really nice effect for slowing down the dance. It almost creates like a slow motion.
More like, slower songs, really for musicality.
Yeah, totally. So just one last time on this, we'll have a sugar push 1, 2, everything is going normal, and then we're going to slow down time. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, sugar, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
So that was our first workshop.
Okay, hi everyone. Maureen here and Eric. Here's our recap for workshop number 2 of June 7th, 2025, our spicy tips and tricks. So we started with monkey bars. Let's start from here.
And we took this as a tick-tock and a roll.
Pulling in.
Where the follower gets in front of us and over-rotates a little bit, so that she's passed. Instead of just being square to me, I'm over-rotating a little bit.
You're over-rotating me, and I'm sending my right arm under to make sure it doesn't get caught on him. And I can just bone under and then step onto my right and extend.
And we can get a free spin to release that.
So let's do it this
Right over here. We have tick-tock, we roll the follower in. Leaders, make sure you lift your elbow and support the follower's drop. We can connect. Now we can connect out to the hand, or if you're just left with the forearm, you can also just take that. So either one will work. And then we take that back down the slot. We'll take it actually from the other side so that you can see the other side of it. So we have tick-tock from here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can mesh over the top, lift it, connecting apart from each other into the crease.
Cool. Follows your bending, you're sitting into it, and always maintain your own weight.
And leaders, you want to make sure that you're still connected to your follower, and if the follower does start to drop, and add weight and dynamics to this, we're using our knees, we're plieing into this, so creating support for the follower, and also lifting through the elbow. We want to make sure as leaders that we're not tipping over the top, because then we'll end up going down with the follower. So we want to keep that base on top of ourselves.
Yep. Next one was lean.
So we took our lean, we just created a simple change of sides on this. So I had all 5 fingers come over the top of the follower's arm as it threads through, and that's all 5 fingers on the top part of the bicep to set this up.
So here we feel this extension lean out, and then we can bring it in.
My follower back towards me.
So here the first way we did was I'm sitting in. So I'm connected here up my back, the middle of between my lats on his shoulders, and then I'm sitting on his knee.
So I can feel Marine's back or lats right up against my forearm as I bring her back. She's squaring up a little bit so that she can engage her back with me and have a little bit more surface area. And then she's sitting onto the leg, so I can feel a little bit of weight right on the top of the leg. And that gives a little bit of support where then I can lift that and place Marine back on top of her legs, stretch away, and then give the free spin to release.
So this one is the one with the most connection. So I'm really looking for as much, like to connect to his body as much as possible. Get him out, spin.
And that was the lean. Sorry, that was the sit.
That was the lean where we sit, yeah.
And so then we took that a little bit further and we went to a lean.
Right.
So we took the same setup, all 5 fingers threading through again at the top of the bicep. And as I bring the follower back, my follower is not sitting this time.
I'm choosing to just engage completely. I'm like a board straight, my whole body straight. So the only connection is in between the lats and his bicep.
And I feel more weight on my arm and shoulder area. And then I can bring my follower back up, and again, free spin out of it. So when we have this, I'm feeling weight. This is definitely a weight sharing move, but there is no point where we're taking the weight too far down at this point. Of course, it could come further down as you feel more comfortable with it. You can take it one more time.
Okay.
Here, and we lean it back just a little bit, bring it back up, create our stretch, and our free spin. And can we just do it this way? Let's see, if we did it, I know. Wait, you go over there.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just want to see if we can show an angle here. So here's the catch, and you can see that she's on my forearm there, and I can just rest that up, bring her back.
And I'm facing, remember, not straight, not this way, diagonal here.
Yeah. And also, Marine is a little bit still in front of me. So when I bring Marine, so I'm behind her a little bit on the track. She's got her slot still in front of her. So I'm bringing her back on the diagonal in order to get her back.
Notice how he's using his elbow to stretch and then bring me in. If he starts off too close, there's not a lot of give or space to use. All right, and then the last one. So we also talked about like adding a hand for support here. So for here, he can offer his hand.
I can offer the hand, or I can actually support under the arm. So either way, the best way is right under that hand, so that Marine can almost drop compression into me there. And now I have double power steering on this. And I can take this back and create a little bit more support. Now our third one.
Yeah,
was,
where we use this handle and it's, and it's a little more, I step in front, so here.
So Maureen is already in front of me, and I'm gonna take that hand and support it. And Maureen can either do this as a lead move, so I can either lead her in front of me.
Or I can just choose, because I don't feel comfortable with leaning against him or too much of a dip like that, I can just choose to step. So I have more control over this. And in this case, I am facing forward as he is.
And what's nice about this is when Maureen is here, although we do have connection and compression, I am supporting. If I start to release this compression a little bit, release it, Maureen is almost on her own weight. She can start to support herself. So it's a little bit of a low risk or a lower risk move. If she steps over, I am just supporting a little bit of weight on that.
Yeah, so my weight here is really on my right one. This one can actually be picked up.
So all three of them, we'll just do them in order. We have 1, 2, 3. The first one, she sits back on me. She comes up. We're going to end with the free spin. Second one, 1, 2, 3, 4. She leans back, comes up, and we free spin out of it. And the third one is we can support that hand, let her come in front, come back up, and once again, free spin out of it.
All right.
We did it.
Hey everyone, workshop number 3 from June 7th, 2025 with Maureen and Eric, All-Star Secrets. So the idea here was showing how we can turn the dance into more of a communication, a conversation between lead and follow versus the lead always just controlling the whole dance. And so giving the follow more opportunity to embellish the dance and listening to your partner and just really having that conversation.
Yeah, so our first move was kind of interesting. We started almost from a closed position and we just did an ocho redirect. So normally our ocho redirect would have just come in here, there's the underarm, and we would have redirected it out. And when we do it with Maureen's contribution, a little bit of a follower indicating, as I bring the follower in,
maybe I want to extend it, maybe it's a gooey song and I'm feeling it, so I'm gonna extend and sit in that compression here a little bit longer.
And then we can take it back over the head and send it out once the follower has resolved it. As we go into this, we can either keep the hand or not keep the hand, so we can take this, we can take her in, and as soon as we feel that the follower is doing something, we can just hold on to the lower part of the rib cage and expand away, took this over the ledge, so to speak, and we can take whatever we've got in front of us. So in this case, I have the arm and I can give a free spin out. So if I keep the original hand, I can just bring that back over and send the follower out when she is done, or I can let go and see what I've got in front of me.
Right, so things we talked about was the having a C shape for the follows here. We're sending this part, the hips, not so much leaning, but the hips C shape.
And I'm just counterbalancing what the follower is giving me at this point.
Right, and he can understand a little bit when I'm done as my leg is coming in, and I'm ready to exit. Cool.
Our second move, were some sugar push.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we have 2 sugar push.
So our first sugar push, leaders, you're going to be leading a toss away sugar push. So the first hand that we initiate, we're going to let go of that and change for the opposite hand hold. And that way my follower is leaning into that.
So this, we have an angle, kind of like from our first workshop where we went over some angling of our push break. So here I'm only in the left arm, and I'm choosing similarly to milk this compression. So I'm staying into it versus just in and out. So I'm gonna stay in it and maybe do some foot circles to dance to the music.
And the follower can either stay right there, or the follower can actually start shifting from standing away, and I can slowly start walking until she starts resolving the compression. So what I'm feeling here is that Maureen is coming in, and I feel a lot of intentionality from Maureen, where she gives a little bit more compression than just my regular sugar push, just a tiny bit more. but it's enough to say that she's communicating to stop.
I've chosen to stay in this for a little bit longer, and he can feel that. And then as I'm slowly coming out too, this is where he responds by like slowly exiting out of our push brake. Right.
And then we take a free spin, get it out.
Yeah.
Now our second sugar push comes in, right?
Yeah,
Our
where?
second sugar push coming in, and our regular move, if we were to do the regular move, would just be to the chest and sending it out to be like a little bounce out sugar push. But in this case, once again, Maureen stalls me. She gives me a little bit of pressure. She indicates that she wants to communicate.
One. I'm staying in here. Maybe I feel the music, and I feel like it's going to work musically.
And I'm just balancing the compression that she's given me at this point, seeing if she wants to stay, or if she's backing up, or if she's responding to the idea.
So he's responding to my connection. He's not just like forcing me out of this. So, yeah.
And Maureen can walk in place, or she could moonwalk back as the pressure still is there, and eventually it'll get light enough where it resolves and we can go back to a handhold. So once again, we're coming in on this. Here's the balance point. I'm waiting to see what Maureen has to contribute, slowly resolving, back into our dance.
Yeah, so I'm using my elbow again, and so mostly I'm in compression here, and then notice how when I extend my arm, that's where you can feel that I'm ready to kind of finish up the movement.
And we can resolve. I don't actually have to have her hand right at the resolution. I can actually touch her arm or trail down, so I don't, because we're close.
One more time.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
And our last move,
Threw in last little.
right, last little fun move. So we have a little window that we did. We just took this from a half an outside turn, just lifted it up. Here's our window. From here, followers are going to be able to contribute. We're offering some space to the follower on this.
So a little bit similar to that first swagger in the first workshop where we did this stuff. So we're using our knees and our hips. So here I'm kind of sending the knees in and out.
And leaders, this is a follower-initiated motion, so I'm not initiating her motion. Quite the opposite. I'm trying to catch and figure out what she's doing by watching the backside of her body. Usually the inside leg is going to give me a lot of clues, and trying to catch that.
So he gave me this opening. I'm doing something with it. He's listening and watching, and he can match it up.
Now at the end, we can take this out one of two ways. I can either continue the direction that I originally started, or I can take this and take the weight change, and depending upon my handle, bring it back down, send it back to the original place. So you have all different endings for this. But the goal here is really to set up the window and then respond to the follower.
And then similarly, if it lasts forever, I can send myself out.
Right, follower can end all. What's kind of interesting on this is that as beginners, when you're starting to learn this, followers, don't be in a rush to get out. It's going to feel weird because you want to get out. But it takes the leaders a few beats to figure out what's going on. So give the leaders that opportunity. Because if I'm not watching carefully, oh, like 2 beats have already gone by, and now I'm starting to pick it up.
Right.
As you get more proficient on this, you'll start to pick it up quicker. You'll see a twitch from the follower, and you can catch it within, half a beat to 1 beat. Maureen, should followers go crazy on their footwork, or should they keep it simple?
I mean, this is whatever you feel comfortable with, and this is kind of a move that I feel, and then you can play around with that. Something else we can add. So we did knees, hips, and then you can add your upper body. So the shoulders go with the hips here. So shoulder up as the hip goes up.
And so leaders, as we pick up the bottom part of the body, and you see that there's more body going to do it, leaders can also respond into that and create this nice mirrored and complementary shape to it. I would say followers in the beginning, keep it real simple. This is a really nice movement with the knees, very symmetrical, gives time to the leader to respond. I would say from a leader's perspective, it's really hard to figure it out if it's asymmetrical, where you're doing different things and different timing. It's very hard to figure out.
Definitely keep it like it's similar, and constant.
But it's really great when they make it easy for us.
Yeah. All right.
So the secrets and stylings the secrets on this one for the All-Star Secrets is that this dance becomes very conversational. And if we do this right, we end up giving the followers a lot of space to contribute to the dance. And when we respond to what they do, what the followers do, it really makes the dance very beautiful. So look out for those opportunities on this.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you.